Hi, everyone. It's a beautiful day to improve your TOEIC score and overall English. This lesson, we are going to focus on phrasal verbs in TOEIC questions, and I'm going to show you how to get the right answer, like usual. So let's get started. Here is the first question. Let's understand the main idea. As I always say, read the whole sentence for the overall idea. Do not stop with the blank. So she was offered a job at the company. It's the main idea. But she blank won the opportunity. So she was offered a job, but but is a big clue. We will have a surprise after. So we have the positive. She was offered a job, but what is logical? She said no, she declined it, she was unhappy. Now we have the idea. We can guess she said no to the opportunity. First, eliminate, leave out. This is D. Leave out means not include, exclude. An example, she made pizza, left out the cheese because of her allergy. Is that really pizza? I don't know. But she left out the cheese, so she didn't include it. You can make it passive and say cheese was left out. You can also use leave out in social situations. An example, all the kids in the class had a tablet and played Minecraft, except for one kid. During conversations about Minecraft, he felt left out, so he felt excluded, not included. Let's go back to the TOEIC questions. If we see leave out, we don't say leave out on. So on after the blank is a huge clue. We don't say she left out on the cheese or he left out on the details of the report. So that on is a big clue. So that's one reason we don't pick leave out. Also, it is strange to say she left out the opportunity in this context. It really doesn't make any sense. So she was offered the job, but she left out the opportunity. Not logical. A logical context would be she talked about many things, but left out her opportunity to work at the company. So she didn't include that in the conversation. So eliminate D, it doesn't work because of the on, and it doesn't work because it's not logical. Next, eliminate C, cut off. Cut off has several meanings. Let's look at four of the most common. The first, someone cuts off another person in conversation. That is, someone interrupts another person. During her presentation, a colleague cut her off and started talking about something completely different. She was angry that her colleague rudely cut her off, so interrupted. Another example is when you are driving, when one driver or car cuts off another car. This is when one car goes quickly in front of another car, so they have to stop or slow down. Here's an example. While I was driving 100 kilometers an hour, some guy on his cell phone cut me off and made me hit the brakes. All right, so that's a second meaning. The third meaning is very simple, cut off a piece, body part. It just means to take a knife or scissors and cut it away from the main item. An example, he accidentally cut off the top of his finger while cutting chicken. Or the chef cut off most of the fat from the meat. The final common form as cut off is cut off contact or cut off communication with someone. That means to stop talking to someone. So you might say, I cut off contact with my brother after he was arrested for a terrible crime. What did your brother do? All right, let's go back to the TOEIC question. Cut off does not make sense here. Also, cut off plus on is strange. So we don't cut off on a conversation, or we don't cut off on a person, we cut off a person. So because of on and the logic, remove C. So now we have A and B. Well, the best answer is A, pass up. Pass up and on is optional, but pass up on an opportunity or a chance is to say no to the chance. An example, my university said I could study in Singapore for 4 months. However, I said no. So I passed up on the opportunity to study in Singapore. Maybe I had a girlfriend in my country at the time. Or Jing's friend offered her free tickets to see Bruno Mars in concert. However, she didn't want to take the train 6 hours to see it. So she said no. So she passed up on the chance to see Bruno Mars. If we go to this TOEIC question, it's quite logical that we use passed up because she was offered a job, so she had the chance to work for a major corporation, but she passed up on the opportunity. She said no. So the answer is A. Let's go to the next TOEIC question. Once again, read the whole idea, the whole statement. You want to get the main idea. What is the message? Words like but, or, so, and, this can tell us the direction of the statement. So we see the main idea, Miss Cho became manager and was excited to lead. That's positive. But, so we can guess the next sentence is a negative thing. Now it says, by the immense workload, this is huge amount of work. So what did this huge amount of work do to her? Because it says she eventually became blank by the immense workload. All right, first eliminate D, call up. Call up is slang to call someone on the phone. I called up my friend to congratulate him. If it's passive, he was called up. Well, we said he was or she was eventually became called up by the immense workload in this TOEIC question. Well, an immense workload cannot call someone up. Person or a group of people can use a phone, but an immense workload does not use a phone. And also, it's just not logical. She eventually became called up by the workload. It doesn't make sense. Next, eliminate C, leave out, or left out. Once again, this is not include or exclude. We learned this before, and she was left out by the immense workload. So the workload didn't include her? This is strange and also not logical. So now we have A and B, used up and burnt out. Eliminate A, used up. The phrasal verb use up is to use all of something, so there is nothing left. An example, my friend stayed with me and woke up early. I had many coffee beans, but he used them all. Now, or then, there were no coffee beans, so he used up all the coffee. So the form is someone uses up now or someone uses noun up. So if we said she eventually became used up by the immense workload, this is passive, you're saying the workload used her up. But you can't really use up a person. Maybe you could use up the energy and say her energy eventually became used up. But it is strange to say she was used up because you're saying now she is gone. There's nothing left. Therefore, the best answer is burnt out. The forms are burn or burn, burn. Both are fine. Something burns out a person. This means something exhausts a person and uses up all their energy, usually emotionally or mentally. An example, the workload and responsibility burn many doctors out at a young age, so they become exhausted. Or many doctors feel burnt out at a young age. Now, if we look at the news, these are some headlines. 42% of Canadian workers say they're burnt out by the end of the workday, or 70% of workers in Korea are burned out. Notice in the spelling, you can use T or ED. So the best answer here is she eventually became burnt out by the immense workload. She became exhausted. She had no energy left. The workload burned her out. All right, so we learned a lot of new phrasal verbs. We improved our TOEIC. We learned some strategies. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, and whatever else you want to do. Talk to you soon. Bye.